the podcast for recording, and we'll get started. We'll get this shizzy cranking. Let's do it. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining Spazzing Out, America's podcast. Something ridiculous happened overnight or in the past day, but it wasn't just the one episode. I hit my 1 day record for downloads today. I've never had this many downloads in 24 hours. Listen, it's not a lot. It's not Joe Rogan style. It's not any big ass podcast style, but I had a 1 day download total over 1,000. I had over 1,000. No, I didn't. You did. America's podcast broke the 1,000 1 day mark of 1,000 downloads. Typically, as of late, we've been getting about 500 to 600 downloads a day. When we started this baby back in February, we were getting 1 download, 2 downloads. No one was listening. And gradually over the past, how many months is that? So it's February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So over the past 7 months, the podcast has grown. And just overnight until now, we had over 1,000 downloads. So thank you so much for listening to the program. I appreciate it. Typically, it's about 600 a day. I need to be at that 2,500 mark a day so that I can actually monetize the program. But thank you so much for listening to America's podcast as it continues to grow. I appreciate the support, and I will be here 5 times a week recording this podcast for you, bringing content that I think you want to hear, that I think that Americans relate to, because I am the typical American. I am a working class man just like you. I have kids. I have spilt milk. I have dogs. I have struggles. And I bring the struggles and I bring topics and I bring them together to try to relate them to you. And apparently you like it because the show is getting bigger. So thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. When we do the podcast, we're Facebook Live at Anthony Paz. Facebook is at SpazWAF. We're also on Twitter at SpazWAF. I'm on YouTube. I think you just look it up by looking up my name, Anthony Paziali. Also, I need you to subscribe to the podcast. Go to anthonypaziali.com. Click on one of those links. Subscribe to one of the podcasts. Or wherever you listen to your podcast, go to Google Podcast, subscribe. Go to Apple Podcast, subscribe. I'm trying to get on iHeartRadio's podcast list. I'm getting on Amazon's podcast. I got the thing today. I should be up pretty soon. You'll be able to ask Alexa to listen to Spazzing Out America's podcast, but take about a week to be on that. I'm trying to get everywhere so that you can listen to the program wherever the hell you are. On today's podcast, we're going to cover a couple of things, but I thought, first things first, I want to talk about America's New Classroom. We started America's New Classroom today at the Paziali household here on Revere Beach. I want to talk about that. Also, I want to talk about outdoor dining. We might get to the sheriff in LA County, maybe. But more importantly, this is a program that is based out of Massachusetts. So I know I have a lot of listeners across the country. I sound like I have a big-ass program, right? But I really do. I have people down in North Carolina, Florida, Texas, all throughout the country are listening to the program. But I talk about the stuff that happens here in Massachusetts. And today I got this in the mail. For those of you that can't read it or it's backwards, what I got is my little red book from the Secretary of the State here in Massachusetts. We got the little red book from Bill Galvin, and it breaks down the 2 questions that are going to be on the 2020, the 2 ballot questions that you'll have to vote on here in Massachusetts on November 3rd. And I thought I would break them down for you guys so that you could pass the word along to the mutants so that they, 1, are educated what the questions actually mean, and 2, how they affect you, and 3, how you should vote on these. It's simple stuff, but you'll get this. You'll read through it. I hope you will. I took the time to read through it. I was reading it. My wife was like, damn, you love politics. And I was like, well, yes, I do like politics. But what I like more is I like to be educated on my decisions when I go to vote, because I want to know how my decision is going to affect other people and how my decision, you know what? I don't care about other people. I want to know how my decision is going to affect me, my kids, and you know what? Just me. Not even I want to know how it's going to affect me because I'm first, right? I'm kidding. I want to make sure that when I go vote, that I'm making an educated choice. And then when you talk to me and you're like, why did you vote on question 2? I tell you why, and I don't make up garbage reasons as to why I voted against it. I come with the real truth. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I didn't like this. Bro, you ask me something, I'm going to come with 3 reasons why I don't like it, and then I'll have 3 reasons to support those 3 reasons. I will tear your ass apart if you want to debate me. I would revel in it. Please, for the love of God, we'll go meet up at Renzo's on Revere Beach, and I will shred you. And bro, and I don't even. Here's the best part about it, right? Because I do love debating. Typically, I like to debate things that I like and that I care about. But I like debating so much that if you picked the topic and told me what side I had to take, I'd still kick your fucking ass at it. I should have been on the goddamn debate team if we had one. But I went to Woburn High. We didn't have a debate team. We had a wrestling team, and I sucked. But I could tell you what the lights look like in every single gymnasium in Massachusetts because I spent a goddamn lot of time on my back, and I ran track, and I could tell you what the back of XL Walker's shoes look like because I got my ass burnt, toasted. I'll never forget that. Right? To go off on a tangent, I ran the 4x1 in high school. And we were racing Reading. This would be that one year where we might have the opportunity of beating Reading, which they never lost. And I had this kid, XL Walker. This dude was fast. Mad good running back, really quick. XL, I don't know where you're at now, bro. I'm sure you're doing great things. But he was fast. And I was typically the third leg in the and I think they really give like the slowest guy the third leg. I don't really know much about racing. But certainly the slowest guy is never the anchor. But our coach was like, hey, we're going to switch it up. This time around, they put all the fast kids. I actually think our fastest kid was Woodson Michelle. They put Woodson on the third leg, I think, right? And then they had the other 2 fast kids, and I can't think of their names. So by the time the baton got to me, I'm telling you, bro, I had a half a football field. I had a 50-meter lead. I mean, we were fucking winning. There was no way this dude was going to catch up to me. I was at the 50-yard line because it's at Reading High School and you're running around the football field. I'm at the 50-yard line. All I got to get to the end zone, right? I'm on the track, but I get to the end zone, right? I win. This dude, I'm at the 50-yard line. This dude doesn't even have the baton yet. How do I know? Because you can hear him. You can see it go stick. You know when he's getting the stick. And I'm hauling. That's how much of a lead they got. And I'm like, I got like fucking, literally. I get like to the 25-yard line. This dude flies by me and dusts me. And it's not like it was even close. Not like I made it and he just barely beat me. By the time I got to the 25-yard line, he was tied with me. By the time we got to the 10-yard line, he was already passing. Dude was mad fast. I blew it. I don't know how the hell we got to that, but it's a funny little side story. Anyways, man, that kid was fast, bro. Damn, you know what it is? It's Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai's got me thinking about high school and about coulda, shoulda, woulda, and all the things that I might have did when I was in high school and all the shit that I don't do now and how much of a bum dad I am. It's crazy. All right, let's get back on topic. I'm going to break down. There's only 2 questions on the ballot for Massachusetts, and I'm going to break them down. Okay, we're going to get into that. I want to educate you guys so you can make an educated decision, and because I want you to vote the same way I'm voting, because I don't want to, because I know, man, because I know what, I'm just, please, you got to listen to me on this. But first, let's talk about America's classroom. Today was, for me, the first day of school for my daughter, Presley. My son, Nariam, goes to school on Friday as his first day, which to me is ridiculous. Why would you ever start school on a Friday? It's start Monday. Just start fresh, man. It's like, when it's Friday, you don't go, I'm going to stop my diet today. You go, no, I'm going to stop Monday. When you say you're going to quit drinking, it's Friday. You don't quit drinking on Friday. You're like, no, I can't quit drinking on Friday. I got to quit it on Monday. I'm going to start eating healthy on Monday. I'm going to work out on Monday. I'm going to start school on fucking Monday. Anyways, so we had Presley all set up. She had her Chromebook, had her desk. Well, this is how the day went. Let's go through the whole thing. At 9 o'clock, my daughter's going to the Paul Revere Elementary School, which is on Revere Street in Revere, Massachusetts. So the first thing we do is we go to the park behind there, and everybody is socially distanced. There's little lines or tapes or rulers or whatever. They were yardsticks, actually, where everybody stood so that no one was near each other. Everybody had their mask on, and you would meet your teacher. Our teacher is Miss, right? It's not with the R. Does the R mean that you're married? It's not, right? So it's MS Lee. Miss Lee. We met with Miss Lee. We got to meet her. Very nice. Not Asian. So please, just because her last name is Lee doesn't mean that she's Asian. I know you guys were thinking that. That's fucking terrible of you. We care about social justice here. So Miss Lee, really nice lady. She passed out some paperwork. She passed out, the pencils, all that kind of crap. We met her. And then from there, we went home. But I just want to point out, just so everybody knows where I stand on this. This is a momentous moment in the Pazziali family. Today was an unprecedented day for the Pazziali family. This is a day that I don't think anybody in this family. It's a huge move forward, I guess, towards women's rights. Let me tell you something. I don't think anybody would have seen this coming ever in the annals of the Pazziali history. If you went back to whoever, maybe the guy's name was Raphael Pazziali, that was my great-great-grandfather, or, maybe that Stanislao even further down, I don't know. But I'm telling you, they would have never imagined a day like today. What happened today has never happened ever in this family, and there are many children in this family, and many kids in this damn family have gone to school. Today is the first time a male Pazziali father has ever met a teacher. Today is a momentous move forward towards equal rights, towards equal rights. It's just a move in the goddamn wrong direction, if you ask me. Today is the first time, I'm telling you, no other male Pazziali has ever met their kid's teacher other than me. I am the first. I have met a teacher. She's like, "How you doing, Mr. Pazziali?" And my head was going to explode. I was going to say, "Shit." The first time I thought that I ever talked to a teacher, I would say, I thought that my words wouldn't be "nice to meet you." I thought there would be, "Why the fuck are you calling me? I'm working. Call my wife." I thought that would be my first interaction with the teacher. I thought the very first time I had ever seen a teacher would have been at the bar. Like I might have been at the bar, I might have at Calhoun's, and the teacher come over and say, "Hey, aren't you Presley's dad?" And I'd be like, yeah, at my tie deep. Maybe I'm banging back one of the new Dugaritas. And she's like, "Hey, aren't you Presley's dad?" And I'd say, "Yeah, who are you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm Presley's teacher." And I'd be like, "Oh, get the fuck away from me. I don't deal with school. I don't know my kid's dentist. I don't know my kid's doctor. I don't know my kid's teacher. But I do know the guy that pays my kid's bills. That's me. And I go to work." So I have broke 1,000-year tradition. I don't know how far back the Pazzialis go, but I broke 1,000-year tradition in this family where the men work and the men eat the dinners made by the wives, and the men, where the men are just men. And I broke the tradition. I am the one. I've brought the family great shame. The name is sullied. The Pazziali name has now been torn apart because I have become the first male. I'm sure my father was trying to knock the urn over and have his ashes escape in a big fucking plume of anger to the fact that I have become the first Pazziali in history to meet my child's teacher and interact in class, no doubt. So we get back home, Zoom class, which I'm going to tell you what, it went okay. Day one Zoom class went okay. It wasn't that bad. There was, and I got to be careful here because people listen to the podcast and I don't want to get my daughter in trouble or anything like that, but I could tell you this. There was a definite language barrier problem, and it was aggravating to say the least. So, first thing is, my daughter is sitting in front of the Zoom class. Now, there's not that many kids in the class. There's like 9. So the teacher's got to handle 9 kids, and the teacher did a great job. There was one kid, here I am out in people's kids. I love it. There's one kid that was sitting in his bed, and the teacher wasn't having it. She was like, "Hey, so-and-so, get out of bed and find a table or something to sit at. This isn't hangout time." So it was cool like that. She makes you ask to go to the bathroom. It's just, she taught it just like a classroom. You got to raise your hand to speak. You can't just get up to go to the bathroom. That she commanded. She was great. She seems like a good teacher. So far, so good. My daughter paid attention, which was surprising to me because I didn't think that she would, because she's like me. We're all over the place. Did a fantastic job. The only issues that came were, there were one issue with technology where an older parent who has no effing clue about phones, computers, or anything didn't know what to do. So that disrupted the class for about 10, 15 minutes while they tried to explain it to them, and then they couldn't. And then the response was hilarious. So they're trying to explain to this older person that has no effing clue what they're doing. Nothing against the old person. They're trying to do their grandkid, I guess, right. They're trying to do the right thing. And then the teacher says, we'll email you instructions later. Dude, I almost hit the floor laughing. I was like, wait a second. Wait. You think this dude can't figure out Zoom? You think he's going to figure out an email? When you said email to him, he went outside by his mailbox, and he's waiting for mail to show up with the letter E on it. He's like, hey, you're going to send me that letter email? Trust me. It's going to be a struggle with this dude. The next part, no fault of the teacher or anybody like that, and I'm not ripping on people for their language. I'm just saying that there are some students in the class that have a tough time understanding, or maybe not them, maybe their parents have a tough time understanding American. I affectionately call it American because I am an American. I'm not English. I'm not from fucking England. I speak American. So they have a tough time with American, and you have to bring in Revere, has someone that speaks that speaks Spanish, and explained it to him. But there is a little bit of difficulty there because it disrupts the class. Other than that, not so bad. I think it could work. The problem for me is that I have to be at work. So I've come up with the solution for America's new class. So America's new classroom, and I think I'm going to try to make profit off it. I think I'm going to try to make money. I'm going to speak with my wife about it. I'm going to become a stay-at-home dad, and I'm gonna go around the neighborhood. I want to get, I got my daughter and Nariam, so I think I could do 10. I want 8 more kids, and I will babysit your kids. I will make sure they log in on their computer. I'll get a desk for all of them. They'll sit down. I'll make sure they're logged in. I'll make sure they're doing what they're going to do. I want $60 a day. Your kid gets dropped off half hour before school starts. You pick your kid up a half hour after school starts. You provide his lunch. You provide everything. All I provide is I'll watch your stupid kid while they sit in front of the computer and make sure they do their work. You give me $60. What's 60 times 8? Someone do the math on that real quick. 6 and 6 is 360. 74. Wait. 420 would be 7. Add another. What's that? Fucking 8. Is it 50? No. Shit. What? 6. What's 6 times 6? 360. If it was 600, right? If it was $60 times 6, it'd be 360. If you added another 60 to it, you'd be at. It can't be 50. Bro, what the fuck? What? Hold on. We have to stop the program because my math. Yeah, you really want me? I'm going to teach kids. I'm just going to make them watch. I can't do the math. My head is going to explode, dude. Wait. 60. 6 times 6 is 30. 6 times 6 is 36. If you add 6 to it, you're at 42. All right, it's 480. Got the number. It's 480. 480. All right, so you get 8 kids at $60 a pop. You get $480 a day. You do that thing times five times a week. I ain't doing the math on that, bro. It's over $2,000, okay? So it's more than $2,000. All right. So let's just do the math on it. Jesus fucking Christ. We'll do the math. Let's say it was $500. 5 times 5 would be 5. 5 times 5 is 25, so that'd be 2,500. But you minus $100, so you get $2,400, bro. 24. You'd be baking. I'm gonna do it. I'll do it at my office on Route 38. And you trying to tell me there ain't 8 people out there that are like, right now, they're like, I'll do it. Fuck it. I'm going to try to do it. Do you drop school? Your kids got to be there at 8 o'clock. Well, unless they start earlier. You get a half hour before, you get a half hour after. After the half hour, I want $20 a minute. Because that's what I get. That's what I have to pay. I want $20 a minute. Well, $10. All right, we'll lower it. I think it's a pretty good idea. America's new classroom's not so tough, but it does suck. I don't know how the working class man is going to get along and how the working class man's going to work. I put a photo of my daughter on Facebook from the back, from the, I don't really like to put pictures of my kids on social media because I'm such a dink and I don't want people doing shit to my kids because of the stupid stuff that I might say. So I really don't like to do it. But I mean, you could just go on Kaylee's Facebook and you'd see it. So that's it. Homeschooling is the way of the future. It seemed like it worked out pretty good. Nariam's going to be here this week, and we're going to give it a run on him and see how he does. The only problem is I need to make money. I need to make some loot. I have to find a way to make money, and I think the way for me to make money is to help out other parents, and I'm going to just stay home. Fuck it. Take Junk and shut down. I'll Take Junk down. I'll call it Take Kids. I'm going to start a business called Take Kids. That sounds great. And then we're going to watch Cuties together. We're going to, I'll call it whatever. You kids could come here. Well, I'll set them up in my office. Boom. They can hang out with me for 8 hours a day. You pay me $60 per kid. I need 8 kids. Maybe I'll do 10 because my son Nariam, I'll make him help. I'll be like, no, Joe, you got to help. Presley's kind of chill. We'll figure it out. America's classroom. America's new classroom is Zoom classroom and Google and what the fuck is that other thing they got me using? It's Classroom Dojo or Dojo Class. The hell's it called? I don't know. All I can tell you is it's for me. I have to miss work and I got to find a way to monetize it. So I think that's my plan. I got to talk to my wife more. But all right, let's get the hell out of that because we got to talk about the ballot questions. Jesus, the ballot questions. The ballot questions. Today, in the mail, I received the information for voters 2020 ballot questions. This is a breakdown of the 2 ballot questions for Massachusetts. I know this is going to bore people in other places, but we'll get into because this is coming towards you. Trust me. These 2 problems are problems for every state, and these 2 problems will be brought up in every state if they haven't been already. So for the Massachusetts voters, every election, there are ballot questions to determine whether or not you would like something to be law or not law. And then in January, Massachusetts representatives, the local ones, not the ones that go to Congress, the local ones, they get together and then they make it law. The questions that they're asking are 2. The first one is the right to repair question. It's not I don't know if that's exactly what they call it, but question number 1 is right to repair. What this question is all about, there's 2 sides to it. One side of the question, this is literally, I want to try to explain it to you so you can understand. Basically, right now, dealerships have data technology that they don't share with your local repair guy. So your local auto shop, if you got a brand new car or like a car that's like 2 years old, they wouldn't be able to fix it because they don't get the information or the diagnostic information. They're not allowed to have it. It's not given to them because it's almost proprietary towards the car manufacturer, which forces you, when your car gets fucked up, to have to go to a dealer. You don't get to pick whether you go to the dealer or whether you go to your local guy because your local guy can't get that information. It's not available yet. I don't know how soon it becomes available, but it's not available. Back in 2012, the same question came up and it was passed. The right to repair so that you could pick where you take your car passed. But technology has changed and now it's more computer-based. So now the dealerships the manufacturers, Toyota, Ford, all those companies have figured out a way to corner the market again by creating proprietary type data gathering information that your local guy can't get a hold of. He can't stick he can't stick his computer into your computer and get the information he needs to repair your car. Only the dealership can at this time. Are you with me? I know it's a little difficult. So if you vote yes on question 1, what you're voting for is to force, I guess, to allow your local mechanic to be able to get this information so that they can fix your car. If you vote no, then you're only going to be able to take your car to a dealership. This is if you have a newer car, probably like the past 2 or 3 years. So let's say you just bought a car last year. The only way you're getting that thing fixed is you got to take it back to the dealership. Typically, the dealership, you're going to pay more. You're definitely going to pay more. You can or if you want to take it to your local guy, you might pay a little bit less. Pros and cons, I like with my wife's car, I like her to take it to the dealer. I'm happy to pay more for her to take it to the dealer because I don't have to worry if the dealership fucks it up. So if the dealership fucks it up, it's not my friend. I don't know him. I don't care. Take the car back. The dealership's going to take care of it. My wife has a Cadillac. She'll take it back to the Cadillac dealership, and I'll be like, yeah, bro, trust me. I got brakes for my wife on the Cadillac. I wanted to send it over to my buddy Paul Scribner, who was Salem Street Auto in Woburn. I wanted to send it to Scrib all day long, but I was like, if I send it over there and something happens, I don't want Paul to have to deal with this shit. So take it to the damn Cadillac dealer. Let Cadillac handle it. Now, me, if I'm getting my car fixed, my truck, I have a truck. If I want to take my truck, I'm going to take it to Paul, and I want Paul to be able to fix it and have him look up the information that he needs to look up. It's my choice. I want Paul to fix my car, and as a local guy, I want to give him the ability to fix it. So that's in a nutshell. That's what question 1 is. Right to repair. You vote yes. Now, the people against it are claiming that what happens if you vote yes on this, you're going to give your local auto body shop data that they don't need. So allegedly, when they stick the diagnostics in, they can take all sorts of other information, because as we all have smart cars or smart things in, it has phone numbers and GPS locations, and they're saying, no, you can't give out this information because the local repairman is going to use it against you, and he's going to come find you, and he's going to fucking rape you. Literally. That's what one of the things over here doesn't say it like that, but the opposing people of this say it's a data breach and your privacy isn't going to be safe. Well, I would say this. Let's be smart. Are you more concerned about Paul Scribner stealing your data? My buddy Paul, you more concerned about Paul Scribner stealing your data? You think fucking Paul Scribner's stealing your data, bro? Come on. You more worried about him stealing it, or are you more worried about a big conglomerate company like Toyota taking your information? Because guess what? They're fucking taking your information. Just like Facebook takes your information, just like Google takes your information, just like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everybody, your phone you're always getting your information taken. Who's more likely to use the information? Paul from Woburn or Toyota? Paul from Woburn or Ford? Paul from Woburn or Tesla? So please be smart. If someone's stealing your data, if someone's stealing the technology, it's not going to be the local guy. It's not going to be. The local guy he's not going to be looking in there like, oh, let me see where Mrs. Jones is tonight. The local guy's like, is that check going to fucking clear? I can't take it. Local, you're going to show up to local guys and be like, hey, this is a cash deal. That's what he cares about. He doesn't care about your information. He's going to look. He's going to say, okay, here, I found out what's wrong. I can actually repair it. So, in a nutshell, right to repair gives you a look. You know what? Let's make it even better. Let's make it even better. I want to try to make it even simpler. Voting yes gives you the choice. It protects your right to choose where you take your car. If you vote yes on question 1, which is the right to repair question, if you vote yes, you get to decide if you want to take your car to the dealership or if you want to take it to Salem Street Auto. You get to pick. You decide. They don't choose for you. Second thing on that, right to repair. Don't worry about your data with Paul, with your local guy. Be worried that your data is getting stolen from Toyota. They're using it. Think smartly about that. So I would respect the manufacturer or Toyota, Ford, or Tesla, or any of these big companies more if they came out and was just like, hey, this is proprietary, whatever the word is. We spent billions of dollars creating this, and we're not sharing it. That I would respect. I'd say, hey, shit, you spent billions? It's your technology? Shit, you get to fix it. Give them 5 years and let them fix it. But that's not what they're saying. They're saying that if you give your information, if you pass this bill, a guy who owns your local auto body shop is going to come find you in the park and he's going to rape you. Literally, I gotta flip the thing. It's the people who do the opposing thing is Coalition for Safety and Secure Data. And one of their things that they're backed by is by the Massachusetts Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Domestic Violence. And then they go in a story about how they could possibly use your GPS and your data information from your car to come find you and fucking rape you. That's their opposing point. A vote for yes on question 1 is a vote for yourself to choose where you take your car to get fixed. So if you just bought a new car and you would like to continue to use your local auto body shop, you need to vote question 1. Plus, if you don't vote question 1, you're going to put you're going to hurt a lot of small businesses. There's a lot of good mechanics out there. There are a lot of great guys that do a damn good job that can't do their job or get business taken away from them because they don't have the right to this information. They should get the right. They just want to fix your car. That's it. Plain and simple. All right, that's question 1. I hope we're all on the same page here, that we're all going to be voting yes on question 1. Next question. There's only 2. Question 2, rank choice voting. Rank choice voting. We've talked about this on the show before. I'm going to try to explain to you what rank choice voting is, and then I'll explain to you why it's garbage and you should vote no on rank. Unless you don't care about elections, then vote yes. Rank choice voting it's a pretty simple thing. Let's say you have 3 people running for one office. You have a Republican running, you have a Democrat running, and you have an independent running. You will now, if it's ranked choice voting, when you go to vote, you will vote for your choice in a rank. You will say, I want the Republican to win the seat. And if the Republican isn't the winner, or if it can't be the Republican, my number 2 choice would be, for easiness, the Democrat. And if the Democrat and the Republican couldn't be the governor or have the seat, I would vote for the independent guy. So now you've done 1, 2, 3. Then after everybody votes, they do the first round of tallying. They tally it up, and for easy numbers, let's just say 100 people voted. They tally up the 100 votes. If there is not a majority for one person, a majority being 51, easy numbers. If someone didn't receive 51 votes, they go to round 2. If someone did receive 51 votes, they're the winner. So if the Republican got 51 votes, election over, they win. Now let's say the scenario goes like this. The Republican got 49 votes. The Democrat got 48 votes. And the independent candidate got the last 3 votes, right? That's right, 49, 48, 3 votes would be left over. What they do, that's round 1. Round 1 goes by, Republican 49, Democrat 48, independent 3. Now there has to be another round of tabulation because there was no clear winner. There was no majority. What they do is they bump off the bottom guy. So now the bottom guy, the independent guy, gets wiped out and they revote. They start at 49. So they go, Republicans got 49, Democrat has 38. And then they look at the other 3 voters and they say, who did they vote for second place? Who was the second place vote? They'll look at it and they'll say, okay, and we'll try to make this nice and easy. They'll look at the first guy that voted for an independent and they will look at his second place vote and they'll say, oh, he voted Republican. So now the Republican has 50. The Republican now has 50 votes. With me? Then they will look at the other 2 guys and they'll say, oh, look, this guy voted 2 votes for the Democrat. So now the Democrat and the Republican have 50 votes apiece. Shit, we have no winner. See how confusing this is already? See how much garbage? I mean, already you should be turned off by it. Already we're going on to the next round. Fuck this shit, dude. Are you kidding me? Simplicity in government is what. Well, if I ever run for office, it's simplicity in government. It would be a key. The bills that I would write would have they'd be like a tweet. All bills in Congress and state level, they should be like tweets where you can only have how many characters can you have in a tweet? 180 or less. That's it. You got to write this fucking bill in 180 fucking letters or less. And if you can't do it, we're not voting on it. So now you're at a 50-50 tie. Here's what they do. Now they go right to the next round. They start off at 50 and 50. They look at the independent guy, now they look at the independent guy's third place votes. So now let's say the independent guy, so we had we had no, they just who would you vote for in third place, right? So we have one guy, he voted his first time around went Republican, but his third place vote has two votes, two votes for the Democrat, but the other guy only has one vote. Guess who wins? Now the Democrat has 52 votes, and the other guy has 51. And I know there's like the weird majority type thing here, guys. I get it, but now they've gone through the voting. I hope I'm kind of explaining it properly. Bottom line is, on the third time through, the Republican loses and the Democrat wins. Are you with me on that? I might not have explained it the best, and for the fact that I can't even explain it, should tell you that it's garbage, but it's quite like voting for an MVP. It's quite like the MVP voting. They will continue on until they have a majority, plain and simple. They keep going back. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is you could win the election, but you could still lose the election. So you could win, you could have 49% of the votes, and someone else could have 40% of the votes, but then when they tabulate the second place votes, they could surpass you and win. Are we all on the same page here? Now, there are two sides to this. One side says, well, if you want ranked choice voting, you have more of a say. You get more of a say. You get to decide that, hey, if your number one guy didn't win, maybe your number two guy could win. If your number two guy couldn't win, maybe your number three guy could win. They're going to say you have more control. I say it takes away the will of the people. I say when 49% of people have for sure voted for someone, not this is my second place guy, this is my third place guy, almost half the population has said, this is our guy, then he's our guy. You don't go for third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. As a matter of fact, in other counties and other states that have this on a local level, there have been instances where where they've had like 10 city councilmen running, and the guy who was the number one vote didn't even win. It boiled down to the number 9 and number 10 people that nobody fucking wanted. The will of the people is thrown to the wayside. Here in Massachusetts, what this ranked choice voting is all about is making sure that a Republican never wins. Here in Massachusetts, we vote for two types of parties, two types of people. We vote for moderate Democrats, or progressive Democrats, like a Liz Warren, or we vote for a progressive Democrat like Ed Markey. In the presidential election, you could say you would vote for a progressive in the guise of Bernie Sanders. So now what they've done is they have ensured let's say it was a presidential level vote, they have ensured that a Democrat would win and that the progressive person wouldn't fuck the Democrat over. I'll give you an overview. Let's say you had a Republican running for president, a Democrat running for president, and then you had a really progressive independent person running. The really progressive independent guy would take a shit ton of votes away from the Democrat, propelling the Republican to victory. Democrats don't want that shit. They don't care about the will of the people. They don't care about the other half of the country that has voted for one guy, and then they certainly don't care about the progressive people. They say, hey, we're going to make your vote not even count. We're just going to let you pretend that you voted for Bernie, but we know your number 2 vote is going to be Democratic, so that's going to all go to the Democrats. Are we all together on this? Do we all understand? Have I explained it well enough for you to understand that ranked choice voting is not a good thing for 2 reasons. One, it's fucking confusing. I'm confused as shit trying to explain it to you. My head is boggled sitting here trying to explain to you guys how this works. Now imagine going in to a voting booth and you've got all these choices in front of you. Instead of just going in there like normal, real simple, easy, boom, I vote for Mitt Romney. Let's say it was a governor race, Charlie Baker. Boom, I vote for Charlie Baker. Now you got Charlie Baker, Maura Haley, Liz Warren, Joe Kennedy, who will probably run for governor next time around. And then you got to rank them. And then you have like names that you never heard of. And you just checking them off because you have to check them off. And then the guy that you never heard of could end up winning the election in some weird fucking runoff. You with me? This is ludicrous. I don't even know how people that are in office, they think you're fucking stupid. They think you're a moron. Bro, if I was writing this bill, I'd be laughing my ass off. I'd be sitting back like, these idiots. These idiots are going to vote for it. Like, come on. Why do you even vote? Why don't you guys just pick them? Let's just go back to kings and nobles. You guys pick. This is what ranked choice voting is. Fuck off, die. We know who we want to win, and we're going to rig this shit so that they can win instead of making it simple. Instead of just voting for who you want to vote for, you're going to vote for 5 other people, and then we'll figure it out down the road. So, Massachusetts question 1, right to repair. We are voting yes. America's podcast is voting yes for right to repair because it's your right to choose where you take your car. Massachusetts question 2, America's podcast is voting a resounding hell no. For one reason, it's confusing. People don't need to be any more confused than they already are going to the ballots. It is confusing, it's ridiculous, and it's open for fraud. And the fact that someone that you've never heard of could get elected because of a round after round, rank after rank, it's one of those conversations that you have where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe Russell Wilson didn't win the MVP. He got 100 first place votes, but this other guy got 150 second place votes and 10 third place votes, so he wins. It doesn't make sense. Then the real reason on my side, it doesn't dictate the will of the people. It would take half the population, right? In Massachusetts, say 49% of the population here voted for one guy. That guy could lose to someone that only got 30% of the first place vote, but on the second time around, he got a little bit more. It was people's second choice. I don't want people's second choice running the country. I don't want the second choice. Bro, no one wants to be the damn second choice. So there, simple. Question 1, yes. Question 2, no. That's how we're voting on America's podcast. And we'll cover this one more time when we have our election special on November 2nd so that you can listen to it the day before you go, or maybe, I guess it'll be the 2nd. We'll do it that Monday. We'll have an election special, and I will break down all the offices and who you should be voting for and who I think you should vote for. And if you don't, it's cool. We don't have to agree on politics, but as long as I just want you to be educated. Education. So take the time. You get this thing in the mail, make an educated choice on which one you're going to vote for. But if you can't make an educated choice, I just told you what to do. Question 1, yes. Question 2, no. We're done. That's it. Podcast is fucking over. Like that. I wish I could stop swearing, but I can't, man. I get so fired up and so passionate about things. It just, I get rah. All right, look. What did we learn today? You know what? We got to talk about this real quick. We have to talk about this. I got to mention it. So today, outdoor dining got extended in Boston. So the outdoor dining was going to end, I want to say October 30th. It got extended to, this is funny. It got extended to December 3rd so that you can freeze your ass off and you can have like a Thanksgiving dinner at a restaurant outside and freeze your balls off. So I just wanted to mention that Boston outdoor dining is extended now till December 1st. I am of the mind that all businesses should be open now, and we can make an educated decision. We can make an educated decision whether or not we want to go there. We know the risk. We know that COVID-19 is dangerous. We know that people get sick. We know that it's about 1% of people that have gotten it, or less than 1% of people that have gotten it and that will die. So we get to make a choice. As Americans, it's our right to decide whether or not I want to smoke a cigarette or not. I don't want to smoke cigarettes, but you know what? I love cheese pizza, as you all know, and I'm sure that I'm going to die of a massive heart attack someday because of cheese pizza. And if that's not the problem, I'm going to drink myself to death, drink a Captain's 101. It is my choice. So if I would like to go into a restaurant and eat and have that place be open and run the risk that I might get COVID, my choice. My choice. Let the American people decide. Open businesses back up. Too many small businesses are getting annihilated, decimated. They're gone. Fuck it. They're never coming back. All these small businesses will never come back ever again. Let people choose. Fuck this shit about eating outside in the middle of the winter in New England. I want to go inside, and if I want to do it, it's my choice. I know the risk. Thank you so much for listening to Spazzing Out, America's podcast. It's your podcast. Thank you. Hopefully hopefully in my spaz and ease, I could come across and get it across to you guys as to how you should be, or the breakdown of these, in my opinion, as how I view the question, as how I view the questions. Hopefully that was helpful. If it wasn't, you're gonna get one of these in the mail. Read it. You don't have to read the whole thing. It's like the first 2 pages, and it'll explain to you what the ballot questions are, and it'll give you opposing views on either side, and you can decide for yourself. But take the time to do it, please. All right. YouTube, peace out. Twitter, bye. Facebook peeps, later.